Yeah, it won't be easy. The Sooner Club, the best offense in the Big 12, at least based on their conference numbers. And there's the numbers for Kyle Robinson. Those are his season totals. His last start down there at the bottom, 4 2/3 innings in Lawrence. He took the loss to the Jayhawks.
John Spikerman to lead off for the Sooners. On Friday night, 3 for 4. All of those hits were singles. He also reached on a walk, 5 trips to the plate, on base 4 times. And very quickly, Robinson's got him in a 0-2 hole. Spikerman, Madron, Carmichael, Snyder, McKenzie, Nicholas, Willits, Mudler, and Pettis. Skip Johnson, Sooners today, swing and a miss. Kyle Robinson comes right after Spikerman, Gus, and strikes him out on 3 pitches.
Kyle's setting a tone right here. About filling up the strike zone, mixing pitches. Spikerman a tough out.
Sooners struck out only 5 times on Friday night, had 12 hits and 8 runs. The series opener. This is Madron, their right fielder. He's the home run leader for the Sooners this season with 9. Madron went 0 for 4, but did reach on a Red Raider error in that 5th inning and walked. That ball hit hard into right field. Long run for Austin Green, can't get it there. It's off the base of the wall. Madron's at second with a double, and the Sooners have their first base runner.
Madron drills the fastball here. Middle of the strike zone. He smoked it. It looked like Austin Green had designs on running that down.
We'll show you that in just a moment. The Sooners had 3 extra base hits on Friday night, pair of doubles, and the Jackson Nicholas triple. And this is Carmichael with a runner at second. Red Raiders defensively, Woodcocks, Harrelson in center today, not Bravo, Austin Green in right. Then the familiar faces of McGee, Lopez, Pompey, and Cash Bazell behind home plate. That ball is lifted into left field. It'll get down. Long run for Woodcocks. Rounding third is Madron, and he will score. Oklahoma back-to-back hits here in the top half of the first, and the Sooners have taken a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, Carmichael staying on an off-speed pitch down, drilling that into left field for the RBI knock.
Robinson in a hurry and delivered a double and a single and a 1-0 Oklahoma lead. Here's their cleanup hitter, Michael Snyder. 8 home runs on the year for Snyder, batting .325 with 46 runs driven in. Grad transfer from Washington. Had 2 of those 12 hits on Friday night, gets another in the series here. He'll advance Carmichael to second, and 3 straight hits here off the Red Raider starter in the first inning. Robinson is noted last time out against Kansas, went 4 2/3 innings in that ball game, allowed 7 hits and 8 runs to the Jayhawks. Red Raiders swept in that series in Lawrence. Anthony McKenzie with runners at first and second was 0 for 4 on Friday night in the opener. Struck out a couple of times, did reach on a walk. But Robinson flirting with a huge problem here in the first inning. Off-speed swing and a miss. Called strike 2. McKenzie played in his 100th career game on Friday night as a Sooner. And that ball is going to be lifted into left center field. Gets down. Gage Harrelson there quickly, but he'll throw towards third. And rounding third and scoring is Carmichael. It's 2-0 now. Sooners 3 consecutive singles after the double by Madron here in the first inning.
McKenzie right on that good changeup. Down and away. Foot gets down, the hands stay back.
Talk about a guy who has owned the Red Raiders at the plate in his last 5 games against Texas Tech pitching. He's 11 for 19. Showing bunt. But taking that pitch for a ball, those 11 hits have produced 12 runs driven in. Three for 5 on Friday, couple of singles and a triple. Kyle Robinson on the mound today for the 42nd time and his 17th career start. That ball is hit into left field. Coming on for it is Drew Woodcox. Diving, makes the catch, hangs on to the ball. And Drew Woodcox, huge play there for the Red Raiders here in this first inning, Gus.
And Nicholas gets one off the end of the bat. A little soft contact, shallow pop. Woodcox saw it all the way. Nice running, sliding catch there to retire the second out this inning.
Fishman takes that pitch on the inside corner for a called strike. 1 for 3 in the opener of this series. A single last night came in the top of the second inning. Sooners with 4 hits here in their first at-bat and 2 runs. Robinson, the Red Raiders' opening day starter each of the last 2 seasons. As Willits in an 0-2 hole.
BYU and Miami already underway. BYU trying to salvage the finale of that series. Leads at 5-2 in the 7th. Coral Gables.
Willits lifts that ball into shallow center field. It's a long run for Gage Harrelson, but he'll make the play. Lopez called off, and the inning is over. But 4 hits in the inning, including a double by Madron and the Sooners.
At T-Mobile, you can save on every plan, and you get great benefits with Magenta Status.
Magenta Status, yeah!
I'll show you my Magenta Status.
Okay, I'll just do it. Check out the T-Mobile savings
Season in the bullpen. He started the last 5 weekends with his Sooner Ball Club, so you're seeing 7 start there. This is his 13th appearance. You see the season numbers. Last week against Texas, he went 5 1/3. 5 hits, a couple walks, 6 strikeouts. It did allow 5 runs, all earned in that ball game.
Here's the Red Raider batting order he'll face today. Lopez in the leadoff spot today. After that, Cash, Bazell, Green, Woodcox, Stripling, McGee, Harrelson, and Pompey. Absent from that lineup is the Big 12's top hitter, Damian Bravo. He went 0 for 2 on Friday night with a strikeout and a walk. But Gus diving for that Nicholas triple in the 7th inning, came out and was pinch hit for after that and not out there today. Sooners defensively behind Witherspoon, Pettis, Spikerman, Madron. Left to right in the outfield, McKenzie at third, Willits, Nicholas at second, Snyder at first, and Mudler behind home plate. Tracer Lopez led off for the Red Raiders in the first 8 games of the season. He's been in the lower half of the batting order since then, but back in that number 1 spot to start today. He's been on base in 14 consecutive Red Raider games. Witherspoon starts him on the inside portion of the plate at 94. Not a lot of wasted motion from Witherspoon, Gus. He just steps up there and throws.
Now working out of the stretch. Nice compact, good arm. Him and his twin brother on this pitching staff.
Sophomore from Jacksonville, Florida. 94 there, lifted into left field. Pettis coming on will make the play. And Lopez retired.
Very, very early in the ballgame, obviously, but Witherspoon doing what Davis did yesterday early on, which is establish the fastball.
Austin Green had led off by flying out to left field yesterday. Lopez does it today. Now here's Gavin Cash. Had 2 of the Red Raiders' 4 hits on Friday. Single and a double. 6 hits against the Sooners a year ago in the regular season series in Norman, included 3 home runs. That one's ripped past Snyder at first base. Madron will get to it quickly in right field, but the Red Raiders have a base hit. Gavin Cash here in the bottom of the first.
Cash all over that fastball. Smoking it through the right side. Madron does a nice job of cutting it off and getting it in. Holding Cash to a long single.
Now Kevin Bazell, Red Raider catcher.
It's the first breaking ball of the day. Little slider up and out of the zone for Witherspoon so far early on. Fastballs on the stadium radar gun, steady 94s.
Bazell 0 for 3 on Friday, flied out to right field in every at-bat.
Witherspoon goes back to the breaking ball there. That little cutter lands it for a strike.
Bazell does have 47 hits, 3rd most on this Red Raider team. Big swing and a miss there. Off speed at 84. Bazell, TJ Pompey, and Austin Green all with 47 base hits this season. Cash now at 61, and Bravo not playing today with 66. Red Raiders have swiped 45 bases this year, but did not run in the opener. Cash starts and stops, but this might be a pair. There's one. Willits to first in time for the double play. Friday night ended with a Sooner double play, and the Red Raiders' first inning here this afternoon ends. With 4 hits, Mudler, Pettis, and back to the top of the order, Spikerman due up against the Red Raiders, Kyle Robinson. Mudler a couple of hits on Friday night in the opener. Both were doubles. Drove in 2 of their 8 runs. Ball hit hard at Gavin Cash over behind first base. Waves off Robinson, makes the play himself for out number 1. And now Kendall Pettis, their left fielder. Senior out of Chicago, playing the 199th game of his Sooner career today. Second in the Big 12 in being hit by pitches, or actually he's 5th. But overall for his career, hit, Gus, this tough way to go to the plate. 38 times, just 1 fewer than the Red Raiders' Cade McGee, who's been hit 39 times.
Kendall Pettis feels like he's been here for a long time, a 5th-year senior. Been a contributor since he got there, so his name feels like it's in the lineup. One of those guys you just think, man, hasn't he graduated yet? Kendall Pettis has done a good job in his time in Norman.
0 for 4 yesterday, but his first trip to the plate today results in the 5th hit of the afternoon for the Sooners. 4 of them singles. Madron's got a double, and Spikerman, who struck out to start the ball game, is back up again here in the 2nd inning. Pettis has 55 career stolen bases, or now 56 after swiping one last night. Sooners were 3 for 4 on stolen base attempts in the opener. Pitch is off the plate to Spikerman.
Chaos. That's the team mantra that they try to create offensively. They did that extremely well a couple years ago, and that's associate head coach Reggie Willits brought that to Norman. They have been a tough team to play against over the last few years. Since he got there, you immediately see the stolen base numbers go up.
Did they bring a dictionary along with them?
I think you got to get that OU part in there, yeah.
Can't spell chaos without OU?
That's how you brand it, right?
Yeah.
Well, PR 101.
2-0 the count to Spikerman.
One of the quickest and easiest ways to defend against that running game is to get ahead in the strike zone. It puts the pitch out and play, and just speeds things up for base runners. Pitching behind will fuel base running, base stealers.
No need to run here. That's ball 4 to Spikerman, and Pettis will trot down to second base. 2 on with 1 out in the Sooners' second. Spikerman struck out on 3 pitches in his first at-bat, walked on 4 in his second trip to the plate. Now Madron, who doubled to right field to start that the 4 hits of the first inning and a couple of runs for Oklahoma. Suddenly Robinson has lost the strike zone. Swing and a miss there. Madron, a preseason all-conference pick this year, leads the Big 12 now with 56 runs scored. He was the first to cross home plate today on a single by Carmichael, who waits on deck. Hard hit ball again towards Gavin Cash. Throw to second to Lopez for 1. Back to Kyle Robinson, who's got to dive at first base to prevent another Sooner run. Red Raiders do get the middle runner there. That was Spikerman. But Madron will.
The corners.
Guess we're going to check to make sure Kyle Robinson is fine after having to lay out and make the catch of that throw from Lopez.
Now Brian Simpson out to talk to him. Seems to be okay as Simpson head back to the dugout.
Pitchers don't do that very often, Gus, but immediately turning to make sure Pettis wasn't trying to race for home.
Madron 13 for 14 in stolen base attempts over there at first base.
Sooners aren't shy about taking a big lead wherever they are. There's a throw over. Carmichael's single in the first inning drove home Madron with the game's first run, and the Sooners with a chance to add to their 2-0 lead here. Hit pretty well into right field, going over for it. Austin Green will make the catch on the run, reaching up for that ball. Had it read pretty well the entire way. The inning is over. The Sooners are going to leave 2 on but they've got 5 hits in the ball game.
Savings, take one. Guys, focus. Here's the line. At T-Mobile, you get tons of benefits, and you can still save versus the other guys. Focus.
Hello, T-Mobile.
At T-Mobile, you can save on every plan, and you get great benefits with Magenta Status.
Magenta status. Yeah. I'll show you my magenta status.
Okay, I'll just do it. Check out the T-Mobile savings.
An easy play for Spikerman there. 1 pitch, 1 out for the Red Raiders here in the bottom of the second. Here's the Red Raiders' Drew Woodcocks. 1 out, nobody on. His .351 average tops among Red Raider regulars in Big 12 play. Drew went 0 for 2 at the plate with a strikeout, but did walk in Friday's series opener. He's been on base in 10 consecutive games now. Witherspoon on the mound today, a transfer to the Sooners out of Northwest Florida State College. Out of high school in Jacksonville is one of the top 60 shortstops in the country, but has made the conversion to pitcher and done very well.
He and his brother and Muddler out of that Northwest Florida State College program. Muddler did a heck of a job here last night. Behind the plate, 2 big doubles early in that ball game.
Well, Woodcock's wondering about that. No call from behind home plate from Jason Harstick, the home plate umpire, but it's ball 4. Red Raiders have their second base runner of the day. Only the 20th walk allowed by Witherspoon. In 52-plus innings of work this season. Now Landon Stripling in the DH spot today for the Red Raiders. And excuse me, foul ball there. Off the bat of the freshman from Lawrenceville, Georgia. High school All-American there, was 1 for 1 with a pinch hit single in the Red Raiders' 9th inning last night. Not an everyday player at this point of his career in that Red Raider lineup, but in those games he has played recently, has a 5-game hit streak. Woodcock's not necessarily a guy that's going to take off there. He is 2 for 2, though, this season on stolen base attempts. Going now. Pitch is up. Muddler's throw a bit high, and Woodcocks gets underneath the tag of Willits. Gutsy play there by Woodcocks, Gus.
And I think we're going to get a review here. Yep, the Sooners are going to ask for a review.
That throw up a bit from Muddler. Willits trying to get the tag on the sliding Drew Woodcocks.
I'll be honest with you, my first instinct when Woodcocks took off on that 1-1 pitch was that it was a called hit and run. I thought we might have Stripling trying to hack away at that one.
But that pitch up out of the strike zone a bit high. Muddler comes up throwing or reversed. Red Raiders' Gage Harrelson is 10 for 10 this season on base stealing attempts. TJ Pompey 11 of 13. Those are the only 2 in double figure stolen bases, but Tech 45 of 50 before that attempt by Woodcocks, the senior out of Houston. The decision has been made. Woodcocks is called out. Gus, you thought that might be the case.
Yeah, that tag applied up high. It can be a hard call for an umpire. On the live eye, it looked like a very close play, but on a replay, you could see the tag applied to the shoulder there before the foot got to the base. Good play by the middle infielder to get that tag down.
Better slide would have helped out the Woodcocks' effort, but out at second there, 2 away now. The count of the Red Raiders' DH Stripling is 3-1. And there's ball 4. Witherspoon has walked 2 consecutive Red Raiders, but Woodcocks thrown out on the attempted steal of second. And now with 2 outs, a Red Raider runner at first base for Cade McGee. Tough opener for the Red Raider third baseman. 0 for 3 on Friday night with a pair of strikeouts. But Witherspoon now, like Robinson before him, having a hard time finding the strike zone. The Sooners want to talk it over with their starter. Witherspoon roughed up a bit by the Longhorns in his last effort. 5 1/3 innings there, 5 hits, 5 runs. Struck out 6, walked a couple, threw 110 pitches, and he would take the loss in an 8-6 Texas victory. 4 3 on the year. He has also thrown against TCU, West Virginia, and Kansas State in Big 12 play. Struck out 8 Horned Frog batters and Wildcats as well. 11 West Virginia batters struck out against him. McGee at the plate, the Big 12 newcomer of the week. In the week the Red Raiders faced Arkansas and West Virginia, had 8 hits, 8 for 20 with 4 home runs in those games. Called strike there. Wow.
Witherspoon mixing that fastball and that cutter, that little cutter slider that he throws.
He thought that one was off the plate, but it's 2-2 now with 2 outs. That's inside ball 3, full count. Stripling over at first base will be off with the pitch. Snyder not holding the Red Raider runner at first base. Stripling's on the move. Ball lifted into shallow right field. It's drifting into foul territory. Long run for first baseman Snyder, but he's there to make the play. Michael Snyder with the running catch for the Sooners. The inning is over. We played 2 complete here in Lubbock. All of the action there in Arlington. Gus, and while we have some concerns about the weather here, as always, no concerns about the weather at Globe Life.
No, sir. That's a heck of a fun environment. Cool opportunity for these guys to get to play in a big league stadium like that. Of course, several of the teams in this area have already played in that ballpark.
Both of these have.
The Red Raiders were down there for the opening weekend and then followed that with 2 midweeks, and then the Sooners came in, I believe, for the second weekend of baseball down there. I think that's right. Actually, that's not right. I think they were there for the first weekend with us. Then they went on to Vegas. That's what I'm thinking of.
Michael Snyder, who made that catch in foul territory to end the Red Raiders' second inning, leading off for the Sooners here in the third. McKenzie and Nicholas after him. That ball is just smoked into center field. Long run for Gage Harrelson, and he's there to make the play. Left-handed center fielder reaching up on the move to make that catch and take a hit. Extra bases away from Snyder.
Gage with a good read, good first step. You know how well he runs. It's a really nice route to this ball. That ball had double written all over it.
Snyder had singled in his first at-bat, as did Anthony McKenzie, who's at the plate now to face Red Raider starter Kyle Robinson. Robinson over his career, 6-6 with a couple of saves. McKenzie only one hit in the 3 games played in Norman last year. It was a double, but in the Big 12 tournament, 2 for 4 with another double against the Red Raiders. Swing and a miss there at that pitch up from Robinson. McKenzie's single in the first inning drove in Carmichael with the Sooners' second run. Backdoor breaker just misses. Robinson thought that was strike 3, but didn't get the call. Sooners are ranked 22nd in the country, 27-17 on the season, 16-6 in Big 12 play. Out of play again on the left side. Just a couple of years ago, 2022, this Sooner team playing all the way to the finals of the College World Series. That off-speed pitch up gets McKenzie swinging. Second strikeout today for Kyle Robinson, and there are 2 away here in the Sooners' third. Strikeout number 59 this season for Kyle Robinson. And now Jackson Nicholas. Robinson air-mailing that one over the top of Kevin Bazell and the home plate umpire. Never a bad thing, though, Gus, on the first pitch of an at-bat. You got that guy thinking at the plate.
You bet.
Jackson Nicholas, the junior out of Overland Park, Kansas, in his career against Red Raider pitching, now 15 for 34 after a line out back in the first inning. But he's hit 4 home runs and driven in 16 off Red Raider pitching. Three and one pitch. Popped up a mile high over near third base. Cade McGee trying to get underneath it, and he does. And the Sooners go in order here in the third inning. We've played 2.5 here.
No doubt. This really a gray, gloomy day. Temperatures in the low 60s. A little bit of wind out of the east, which means it's blowing across from left to right. But yeah, this not the sunshiny weather we've had of late. We spent most of this week bumping up against 90 degrees. But this part of the country, you never turn down some rain.
No, and I bet we get sunshine tomorrow.
Temperatures forecast in the 70s. Should be a pretty day out here.
First at bat of the series for Gage Harrelson.
Gage got the start here on Tuesday against UTRGV. A couple of base hits. Conference play has been a struggle for Gage, just 3 for 22.
But very, very good against these Sooners a year ago in Norman when he had 8 hits, 8 for 15 in that series, including a double and a couple of triples. Red Raiders need something to get them going. Their bats have been silenced by Sooner pitching for the most part, shut out on Friday, and just 1 hit today. A single by Gavin Cash in the first, but he was erased on a ground ball double play off the bat of Kevin Bazell. That pitch got right by Mudler and the home plate umpire, Gus.
Shot all the way out to third base. What that hit.
Swing and a miss by Harrelson, strike 3. First strikeout for Witherspoon. 1 away in the Red Raider third.
Gage's 11th strikeout in 23 Big 12 at bats.
Red Raiders don't lead the Big 12 in strikeouts, but they average about 8 per game. Had 9 on Friday night. TJ Pompey struck out once in 3 trips. That's 9th in that Red Raider batting order, but his 45 runs driven in are tops on this team and 5th in the Big 12, despite his recent struggles. Only 1 for his last 30. Freshman from Coppell trying to swing his way out of that slump. Ground ball back up the middle. Nicholas backhands behind second base and makes the play over at first. Pompey just can't catch a break, and there are 2 away here for the Red Raiders.
Good work by Nicholas. Strong through the backhand. Good footwork there. Nice throw.
Now Tracer Lopez, who started this ball game for the Red Raiders by flying out to Pettis in left field. Check swing, he goes around strike 1. Lopez, the Red Raider sophomore out of Rosebud. One of 7 Red Raiders who have more than 20 hits in Big 12 games. He has 21. Trying to get a 2-out base hit here. Red Raiders didn't have many base runners in scoring position on Friday night, have had none here in the early part of this game today. Swing and a miss. Lopez is the 2nd strikeout of the inning, and Red Raiders are done here in the 3rd. We've played 3. It's Oklahoma 2, Texas Tech.
Would you mind taking a picture of us?
Oh, no problem.
Thanks.
Ooh, yes, problem.
You need Verizon. Get the new iPhone 15 Pro with tons of storage, so you can take all the pics. Trade in any iPhone.
Science-backed nutrition with the taste they love.
Ready for your dreamies?
PetSmart. Anything for pets.
Now here they are. Both head coaches, the Big 12, both having led their teams to College World Series. Quite a story.
Willits leading off for the Sooners here in the fourth inning, just missing extra bases there. That ball just outside the foul line on the right field side. Interesting that when we spoke to Skip Johnson about his 2022 team, he thought that his 2020 team might have actually been better than that team that reached the finals of the College World Series. And the Red Raiders had a pretty good team in 2020 as well that did not get to play many games.
Yeah, it sure feels like both of these teams had something taken away from them that year. In some respects, maybe we all did, but yeah, both of those teams well equipped. Of course, Tech was coming off a conference championship and a Big 12 appearance, a couple wins in College World Series. They had some good players back and some new additions. Of course, looking back on it, we know that group included Jace Young, who's now knocking on the door in the big leagues in the Detroit Tigers organization. But the Sooners had 3 good weekend starters lined up on the mound. They were set to be really competitive. Disappointing news for both of these programs.
Willits called out on strikes there to start this fourth inning. Robinson now with 3 punch-outs. Sooners, unlike they did on Friday night, Gus, have yet to get a leadoff batter on in an inning. They do lead 2-0 and had 4 hits in that first inning, but their leadoff batter in each of the first 4 innings had not been able to reach base. Yeah, Red Raiders have been in the College World Series in 2014, 2016, 2018, and 2019. Sooners have been there 11 times, and as we mentioned most recently, all the way to the finals following the 2022 regular season. Mudler here. Grounded out to Gavin Cash over at first base in the second inning. Gus out of Chattahoochee High School in St. Johns Creek, Georgia. You got their mascot?
I do not. So say it's something with a gator, maybe.
They're the Hooch Cougars.
Well, there you go. Like that.
91 from Robinson there for a strike. Three and 2 pitches way inside to Mudler, and he's on base.
Yeah, there's the look at that projected field of 64 headed into this week. Red Raiders in at a 3 seed, and the Sooners hosting. Well, that 16 you see there by the Sooners means they're basically the last team in as a host, so the very last of the 1 seeds. Series win here this weekend wouldn't hurt that. They will be sort of on that host bubble down the stretch here, trying to string together some wins and get that regional there in their home ballpark. OSU, a couple spots ahead of them in that projection at number 14. Both of those teams need wins, and that's who the Red Raiders will compete against in their final 2 weekends of conference play.
Sooners have Baylor and Cincinnati left. Red Raiders just the 1 again series remaining with Oklahoma State.
And that one next week in Stillwater. And in 2 weeks, it's actually technically Tech's open week in Big 12 play. They'll be in Tempe, playing 1 against UNLV and 2 against the Sun Devils. A 3-team gathering there. Then it's off to Arlington for the Big 12 tournament.
Red Raiders need some wins here. 30 on the year. They've lost only 5 times at home this season, 22-5. Pettis lifts that one into right field. Long run for Austin Green. He is right on the line to make the catch for out number 2 here in the 4th inning. Butler remains at first after the base on balls, and now John Spikerman with 2 out will come to the plate for the 3rd time today. He is 0 for 1, struggling to get on, but forced at second on a ground ball by Madron. .91, but off the plate there from Robinson. 1-1 to the Sooners center fielder, John Spikerman. Breaker for a strike there. Spikerman in his last 5 games against the Red Raiders has been a tough out. He's 9 for 20 with a double and a home run, 3 driven in, but he scored 6 times in those 5 games. Swing and a miss there, strike 3. Inning is over as Kyle Robinson strikes out the first and last batters here in the 4th inning. Red Raiders need
of the thousands of alumni who are committed to our great university. We began with our first graduating class in 1927, and nearly a century later, we continue to through programs, services, and scholarships for all of our loud and proud Red Raiders. We appreciate our loyal alumni for making a difference. If you're not a member, consider being a part of our story.
Become one of the top long ball hitters in Red Raider baseball history.
Yeah, 38 career home runs. He popped a couple here on Tuesday. 11-6 win over UTRGV in 7th place. Just one behind Jace Young and Roger Kiesnick at 39. Clint Bryant leads it with 44.
Gavin in a very select group of Red Raiders to hit at least 20 home runs in a season. Did that a year ago with 26. He's got 12 this year. Red Raiders could use the long ball about now. But in fair territory. Gave that one a long ride, but not between the lines. Gavin had 2 hits on Friday night, had a single in the 1st inning of this ball game. This is his 2nd time to the plate. Now 2-2. Red Raiders hit 93 home runs a year ago. They've got 78 so far this season. 3rd most in the Big 12. Mascot's got to look out with these 2 guys on the mound today.
Yeah, every once in a while. Witherspoon just uncorking a fastball there. That pitch at 91, he wasn't trying to cut that or do anything with it. He just let her rip and fired it off the backstop. The count goes full.
Swing and a miss by Cash. That's the 2nd consecutive strikeout, 3rd strikeout for Witherspoon against the last 4 Red Raider batters he has faced. Cash starts this 4th inning with the strikeout. 1 away for Tim Tadlock's team. Here's catcher Kevin Bazell, grounded into a 4-6-3 double play to end the Red Raiders' 1st inning. 0 for 4 in this series after getting 8 hits against Oklahoma a year ago. 2-0 pitch. Bazell checking the swing. The ball hit his bat. Nothing more frustrating than that, I think, for a guy at the plate.
Yeah, that pitch probably a ball. Gets him on the trail into the barrel back behind him. And now Witherspoon back in the count. Lands a good breaking ball there.
Bazell does have 5 home runs this season, 29 runs driven in off 47 base hits. That one's hit pretty well into the gap in right field. It's a long run for the Sooners. They won't get there. One hops the wall. Bazell's going to be at second base with the Red Raiders double. Second hit of the game, and Bazell is at second base with 1 out. The guy who led the Big 12 in doubles a year ago with 24 gets his 11th of the year right there.
Bazell short hopping one off the 2019 College World Series. 1 out double here.
And that'll get Austin Green to the plate. Cash led off this inning, struck out against Witherspoon, but Bazell gets the double there, and now Austin Green. Green 0 for 5 in this series, but he's put the ball in play every time. The only switch hitter in that Red Raider lineup, batting left-handed against the right-handed starter, Kyson Witherspoon.
It's the Red Raiders' first runner in scoring position as we play here in the 4th.
First opportunity for a Red Raider to bat with the runner in scoring position. Austin Green, the guy, that pitch on the inside corner for a called strike. Green did not like it at all. Neither do Red Raider fans, but Green now behind in the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes. The delay here while that foul ball a moment ago off the bat of Green is picked up down the right field side. Witherspoon back ready to go. Austin Green lifts that one into center field, but it's right at Spikerman. Bazell feigning the advance to third base. He will stay there at second, and there are 2 outs now.
A little shallow fly ball there right on Spikerman, nowhere for Bazell to go. He stays there at second base.
Now up to Drew Woodcocks to try and deliver a base hit and a run for the Red Raiders. Drew walked in his first trip to the plate, was thrown out attempting to steal second. Called strike there. Woodcocks in 26 games a year ago managed 16 hits, but 42 hits this season in 37 games. And those 42 hits have delivered 36 runs for the Red Raiders. Hard hit ball, but foul past third base. Now, Witherspoon 1 pitch away from getting out of this inning. Oh, we got him. Breaker on the corner, and Woodcox is caught looking for out number 3 here in this 4th inning. Red Raiders strand Bazell at second. It's 2-0.
Membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Listen, the PF Black Card is worth every penny for this hydro massage. I'm a new man.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home?
Red Raiders are going to have to rally today and win this ball game and set up an opportunity to win the series tomorrow. Madron, Carmichael, and Snyder 2, 3, and 4 in the Sooners order here in this 5th inning. Kyle Robinson has settled down on the mound after allowing 4 hits and 2 runs in the 1st inning. Sooners have had only 1 hit since then and have not scored a run. They may have here, though. Madron got all of that one, and Austin Green gave up the chase early. Madron, the Sooners' home run leader, has just hit his 10th long ball of the year, leading off here in the top half of the 5th inning.
Yeah, it's an elevated changeup. Middle part of the plate. Madron got all of it. He knew it. Everybody knew it. Austin Green knew it.
Madron's 2nd hit this afternoon. He doubled back in the 1st inning and adds the long ball here in the. Carmichael's single in the 1st inning scored Madron, who had doubled. Carmichael back up in the 2nd, flied out to right field, and making his 3rd plate appearance today. Hit that ball right back up the middle past Robinson. Gage Harrelson will scoop it up in center field. Carmichael has his 2nd hit of the day, and Gus, this is starting to play out like that 1st inning.
Yeah, a couple of really good swings here. 3rd time through the order for the Sooners. Brian Simpson, Coach Tadlock got to check on Robinson. They want to know where that ball hit him.
Saying on the back of his left foot, I believe. They'll give him an opportunity to throw a pitch or two here and see how he feels. Let's see after his follow through, that ball flying by. Apparently got just a piece of his.
Got a little gingerly on his plant foot. Starting to do something unusual with his arm, putting himself in a bad spot here. He has given his assurance to Coach Tadlock and Brian Simpson, athletic trainer, that he's okay and he's back to work here. No outs, 1 in, 1 on here in the top of the 5th.
7 hits for the Sooners, 3 runs. Snyder singled in that 1st inning. He lined out to center field in the 3rd. Bats with a runner on and nobody out. Carmichael at first has 9 stolen bases. Sooners got 3 in the opener of this series. Well, that ball inside and hits Snyder.
Change up. Big location miss there.
Robinson comes inside there and hits the Sooners first baseman. Now runners at 1st and 2nd and nobody out. A little bit of activity starting to get underway in that Red Raider bullpen out in right field. That's only the 4th batter that Robinson has hit this year, and his day may be done after that pitch.
And Brendan Lysick starting to work in the Tech bullpen. Coach Gardner out to talk to Robinson. Might buy a couple minutes for Lysick to get loose and try to settle down this defensive situation here.
Red Raiders start today 12-13 in Big 12 play after losing the opener of this series. Got still a fairly impressive RPI, and you certainly get the opportunity to face others in the top 50 here in the Big 12, and closing the season against Oklahoma and Oklahoma State only gives you opportunity for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. That's exactly the word I was about to use. The opportunity is there with these games against Oklahoma and Oklahoma State over the last 2 weeks of the schedule, the next 2 weeks. No midweeks left. Of course, technically in the final exams going on right here on this date, on this weekend, and then commencement next weekend.
The opportunity with the Big 12 leaders, Oklahoma State currently tied for third with Texas, just behind West Virginia, a team the Red Raiders swept here at home. Red Raiders thinking Anthony McKenzie could lay down a sacrifice bunt here. He is 1 for 2 today with a single and a RBI. He struck out in the third against Robinson. Showing bunt, throw down to second, not in time as Lopez puts the tag on Carmichael there. But with nobody out, a run in and 2 on. Sooners willing to lay down a bunt to move those runners up. McKenzie shows bunt, does. Cade McGee is going to let it roll into foul territory over near third base and scoop it up.
BYU beat Miami today 8-2. They're in Coral Gables. Miami wins the series. They took 2 of 3, but BYU salvaged the finale today.
Now soaking up some sun there on South Beach.
I would imagine if they played as early as they did, they were hopping on a
cross-country flight.
Yeah, transcontinental. I don't know. Yeah, they got a Miami to Salt Lake City.
Oh, great job by Carmichael there at second base to swipe third. McKenzie showing bunt. McGee had come off the bag, and Carmichael gets in behind him and gets over to third base.
Yeah, McGee's got to react better than that. He had cheated in for the bunt. And that was just a classic situation where you stay squared around and see how that third baseman reacts. He's done it a couple times in a row, so Carmichael picked his pocket there.
1-2 the count to the Sooners' third baseman, Anthony McKenzie.
McGee's first responsibility there is the base.
McKenzie today playing in his 210th career college game. His career started at Sam Houston before the transfer to Oklahoma. Breaking ball, and he got it. Just launches his 12th home run as an Oklahoma Sooner. It's the second long ball of the inning, and that is a 3-run blast off Red Raiders starter Kyle Robinson.
Like a little hanging breaking ball. McKenzie jumps on it and pounded it into the treetop. Out there beyond right field.
Carmichael, who had singled to get on, scores in front of him, as does Snyder. Snyder was hit by a pitch from Robinson. Tim Tadlock is back towards the mound, and he is going to make a pitching change for the Red Raiders here in this 5th inning. 4 more runs for Oklahoma here in the 5th. Now 6-0 Sooners over Texas Tech.
Tunnel vision, keep the algorithm in the kitchen, cooking up, then you're looking up like it's finished. I love, never get it twisted, cause I really want more. You ain't got your boots on, how you gonna stall? Stay
through the batting order. A charm for the Sooners. Kyle Robinson roughed up here in the 5th, and Tim Tatlock to the bullpen.
He had 3 really good swings for Madron, Carmichael, McKenzie. 4 runs in. Kyle Robinson's day is done, and it's Brendan Lysick making his 12th appearance. All of those in relief. Brendan in Big 12 play. Unscored upon in 3 1/3 innings of work. He last pitched here on Tuesday night with an inning and 2/3 of scoreless baseball.
He'll face Jackson Nicholas here with no one on, but 4 runs have crossed the plate here in the 5th inning on a pair of home runs. Madron led off the inning with a solo shot, then McKenzie a moment ago, ending Kyle Robinson's day with a 3-run blast out to right field.
For Kyle Robinson, 4 innings pitched, 8 hits, 6 runs, 6 earned, 2 walks and 4 strikeouts.
Nicholas is 0 for 2 today after going 3 for 5 yesterday with a couple of singles and a triple. Red Raiders shade him a bit to left field. Gage Harrelson, the center fielder, has moved that direction. And Austin Green in right field is a long way from that right field line. Lysick, 6'5", 225, a junior out of Waldwick, New Jersey. Off-speed pitch, and Nicholas swings through it for strike 3. First out of the inning. An outstanding pitch from Brendan Lysick.
Yeah, good left-on-left breaking ball there. Lysick's got a little arm tilt. It's a big frame. Takes a little bit to get used to. He can be really tough on left-handers when he's commanding that breaking ball.
1 away now for Jackson Willits. Showing bunt, lays it down right in front of the mound. Lysick's thought about it, but Bazell will pick that ball up, and Red Raider indecision. Willits beats out that bunt for a base hit.
My assumption is that Bazell called off Lysick. It looked like Lysick was about to square up and make this play. You see him step out of the way. I think Kevin might have tried to do a little too much there because that bunt was too firm for him to be fielding that far out in front of home. It's a bunt single for Jackson Willits.
His first hit this afternoon, second of the series, and with 1 out and 4 runs in, the Sooners have another base runner for Scott Mudler. Mudler had the 2 doubles yesterday. He has grounded out to first and walked in 2 plate appearances this afternoon. Cold strike there from Lysick. Mudler does have a couple of home runs in Big 12 play. Has hit the long ball against UCF and Oklahoma State. Sooners today with runners in scoring position are 3 for 7. The Red Raiders are 0 for 2. Shut out on Friday and have nothing to show through 4 innings so far today. Swing and a miss there by Mudler. That's strike 3.
Well, the presence of that breaking ball earlier in the sequence sets up this fastball here. The pitch is well in and off the plate, but Mudler chased it. You can see Bazell, he was looking for a fastball away. He had to reach all the way across the plate to get that. Mudler still went after it. That tells you about the deception of Brendan Lysick.
91 there on the first pitch to Pettis. Kendall 1 for 2 today, singled in his first at-bat, flied out to right field in the fourth. There's a called strike. Pettis did not appreciate that call, but he's behind in the count 1-2. 0 for 4 yesterday. We got on base a couple of times on a ground ball fielder's choice and a base on balls, and he scored each time. Runner goes, pitches grounded foul past third. Pettis, one of the 3 Sooners who stole a base in Friday night's game. Two and two with 2 outs here in the Sooners' 5th. Runner goes again, ground ball. Speared by McGee over at third. It's a long throw, hopped it into Gavin Cash, but it's in time to retire Pettis. The inning is over, but the Sooners get home runs from Madron and McKenzie. Six 0 Sooners here in Lubbock. Gus, here's what's going on around the rest of the Big 12 today.
Yeah, we talked about that BYU-Miami score earlier. Baylor and TCU in a good one. OSU and Texas will get after it later, and K-State and Kansas State. UCF Houston will go later. UCF won the opener last night. K-State won the opener of that one last night. West Virginia won the opener of their series yesterday in Cincinnati. The Longhorns got the opener there in Austin.
So there are 3 teams, Texas, Oklahoma State, and West Virginia, all chasing Oklahoma. The Sooners doing their best. Stripling came in on Friday night as a pinch hitter for the Red Raiders in the 9th inning and singled. And 1 trip to the plate today. That was the 2nd inning. He walked. He lifts that ball into center field, and it's a can of corn for Spikerman. There's 1 out here in the Red Raider 5th.
And Stripling a little out in front of an off-speed pitch there. Soft contact, routine fly ball. Can of corn out there for Spikerman.
The Red Raiders have nothing to show so far. 2 hits, a double by Bazell and a single by Cash. 4 strikeouts, have not stolen a base. Drew Woodcock's thrown out attempting to take second back in the 2nd inning. Cade McGee lifts that ball down the right field line, and it drifts just into foul territory.
It was well over the foul pole and out of this ballpark. The only question was going to be fair foul. Our first base umpire, Jeff Heinrichs.
Tim Tadlock is asking that be looked at. Cade McGee's got 11 home runs this season. The wind, what there is of it now, is coming across from left to right field. May play a factor there in pushing that one foul, but Tim Tadlock would like the umpiring crew led by Jason Harstick today behind home plate to take a look at that.
Yeah, Heinrichs was down the line, looked like he was in a good position to make that call. They're going to go review it and see if they can get an angle on this, but it was well over the foul pole. Well hit, hammered.
McGee fouled out to first baseman Michael Snyder in his only other plate appearance today. Tim Tadlock looking for something to help spark some offense into his Red Raiders. Inside out swing by the Red Raider third baseman. Madron gave chase, signaling that a foul ball.
Yeah, as with all of these Big 12 conference games, four-man crew. Heinrichs looked like he was in position, got a good look at it, but again, Coach Tadlock trying to find anything to get some offense going here. They're going to stay with the foul ball call. Again, I'm not sure that there's much of a camera angle that anyone could get short of mounting something out there on the actual foul pole that would create some sort of a view conclusive enough to overturn that call either way.
So 0-1 to the Red Raider third baseman, Cade McGee. Now Witherspoon out front, 0-2. Approaching 70 pitches is the sophomore from Jacksonville. Last time out in 5 1/3 innings, he threw 110. McGee got underneath that one, but Sooners first baseman Snyder will run out of room over there. Someone has a souvenir, Gus.
Happy fan taking one home.
Although no one caught it, it might be flat on one side.
See a lot of jackets and sweatshirts. Temperatures in the low 60, gray and dreary. Rain in the forecast this evening.
Oh, got him.
Good cutter there by Witherspoon. Sneaks it in the front door, right in under the hands of McGee.
5 strikeouts for the Sooners starter. And there are 2 Red Raider outs here in the 5th inning. Gage Harrelson. Sophomore out of Warner Robins, Georgia, a freshman All-American a year ago.
Yeah, we're getting a warning here from home plate umpire to the Tech dugout. Somebody's chirping about something. They didn't like that strike 3 call to McGee.
Red Raiders still, despite the struggles on Friday night, came in today leading the Big 12 as a team with a .310 batting average, but have only a couple of hits today. They lead the league in runs scored, hits, doubles, RBIs, batters walked on base percentage. But the Sooners are making it very tough on Red Raider hitters so far. Three and 1 to Gage Harrelson. That's ball 4. Only the 3rd walk allowed today by Witherspoon. He walked back-to-back hitters in the 2nd. And now with 2 outs and T.J. Pompey to the plate for the Red Raiders.
Tech with single base runners in 4 of the 5 innings, but just that. Single base runners in 4 of the 5. Only Bazel's 1-out double in the 4th inning resulted in anyone getting to second base. The Red Raiders needing some traffic here, down 6 runs.
T.J. Pompey without a hit since April 23rd. 0 for 3 last night, 0 for 1 today. Now a brief discussion perhaps on the mound with the Sooners infield.
Baylor Bears trying to even up their series with TCU, lead 6-5 in the 6th as they play there in Waco. West Virginia and Cincinnati just underway. No score in the 3rd inning.
A lot of success in this Oklahoma program under Skip Johnson. And Gus, we've seen a couple of good pitchers here so far today.
Boy, no doubt, Braden Davis last night was outstanding. Davis is draft eligible, I believe. Witherspoon brothers, I believe, have one more year before they are draft eligible. Yeah, you would expect to see several of these Sooner. Several of this Sooner roster with their names called in July. That's a good-looking bunch. Of course, Nicholas and Spikerman were key guys as freshmen 2 years ago on that team that played in the College World Series finals, and they certainly looked the part.
Runner goes, swing and a miss by Pompey. Mudler, who started to throw, held up. Harrelson down to second base, but 2 strikes on TJ Pompey. Witherspoon has 5 strikeouts today. That is number 6. Pompey swings through that. Red Raiders leave Harrelson stranded at second as we head to the 6th inning here in Lubbock. It's 6-0.
About money, there's Erica, the virtual financial assistant to help you spend, save, and plan smarter. Only from Bank of America.
Top of the 6th coming up here in Lubbock. Sooners leading the Red Raiders 6-0. It's 2, 3, and 4 that are due up, but it's the middle part of this Oklahoma batting order that has done the damage today. 3, 4, and 5 hitters, 5 for 8. That's Carmichael, Snyder, and McKenzie. McKenzie with a 3-run homer, that back in the 5th inning. Madron here at the plate led off the 5th with a home run. Carmichael's got a couple of singles. Snyder a single. He was hit by a run homer by McKenzie in the 5th. So a lot of traffic on the bases for the Sooners in that part of their batting order. And Oklahoma with 9 hits now and 6 runs. Red Raiders just 2 hits and still have not crossed home plate in this series against Oklahoma. The ball lifted into left field. Woodcock started in, then stopped and had to move a bit, but Madron retired on that fly ball to left field. And we've got one away for Easton Carmichael. Wait a minute, I jumped ahead a little bit far. That was Spikerman to lead off. And now Madron. Madron 2 for 3 today. With that home run in the 5th, he doubled back in the 1st inning. Had the game's first hit and would score on a single by Carmichael. Oh, that pitch hit him right in the back. And he is not happy. That's the 2nd hit batter today by Red Raider pitching. Starter Kyle Robinson plunked Snyder in that 5th inning. And then one batter later, McKinney.
Lysick has hit 10 now. He is the 10th in just 11 and two-thirds innings of work.
But he's on at first base with one out and Carmichael at the plate. Carmichael 1 for 5 on Friday night. He's 2 for 3 today, and he's scored each time he's reached base. All 6 of the Sooner runs have come from their top 5 batters. Runner on the move. Bazel's throw down is not in time. Pompey takes it, reaching out for Madron, but he has swiped second base. The Sooners, with one out, have a runner in scoring position. Great jump there against.
Foot gets into the bag, but unable to do so.
Oh, the runner goes again. That pitch fouled off. Madron on the move there as Lysick delivered the pitch to Carmichael. Fourth stolen base of the series for the Sooners a moment ago by Madron. Breaking ball off speed pitch there, swing and a miss by Carmichael. Now 2-2. Carmichael among the top 10 batters for average in the Big 12. And trending upward today with 2 hits. He began the day at 354, 6th in the league. And 5th for hits. Now it's 65. Madron going again. That ball lifted foul down the right field side.
Easton Carmichael's brother Braden pitched for the Sooners the last few years. He is now in the Colorado Rockies organization.
Ground ball. Pompey will field it there near second base. Carmichael's out at first. Madron moves over to third with 2 outs. And now Michael Snyder will bat. Snyder singled in that first inning. Lined out to Harrelson in center in the third and was hit by a pitch and scored in the 5th inning. Snyder with that single in the first inning has been on base in 10 consecutive Oklahoma games.
Texas has scored a couple of runs in the first against Oklahoma State. Texas won the opener last night. Off to a good start here today. They play in Austin.
Breaking ball over for a strike, and Lysick jumps out, 0-2 against Snyder.
Cincinnati with a 4-run third inning now leads West Virginia 4-0. They're trying to even up that series. West Virginia got the opener last night.
Oh, that hit him. Looked like Lysick just hung on to that ball too long, and he hits his second batter here in the inning.
Lysick now leads his ball club with 11 hit by pitches. Next on that list are Ryan Free and Mac Ewer, each of whom have pitched 46 and 41 innings. Lysick has hit 11 in just 11 innings of work. We're now, I guess, up around 13, I guess, but you get the point.
Yeah. So McKenzie, who homered in his last at-bat, will bat with 2 on, but the Red Raiders have just picked Snyder off at first base. Lysick made the move to Cash, the throw down to second to Lopez, who tags out Snyder at second base. I
think maybe the words were exchanged there, because what Snyder was doing was running to the inside part of the bag. He was trying to get in Cash's throw lane, make it a little bit tougher for those two to work. So maybe Lopez felt like, hey, he's coming after me as he's sliding to the inside part of the bag, but I think that was just a function of him trying to maybe get hit on the shoulder or something, because he probably knew he was picked and probably knew that Cash had a good shot to throw him out. That's what you're taught to do as a base runner, try to get in that throwing lane.
Lopez here at that ground ball over to third. Nice play by McKenzie, and he gets it to first base in time. Speedy Lopez thrown out here to start the bottom of the 6th for the Red Raiders.
That's a whale of a play. A little slow tapper. McKenzie having to charge and play that to his backhand, throw on the move. We talk about Lopez getting a
back to that play by Snyder. Hit by a pitch to get on. Didn't like it, but trying to get hit on the attempt to get down to second base.
Yeah, the second one is the stolen base one there. That's a survival attempt there.
Gavin Cash gives that one a ride, but it's going to drift into foul territory. But now with 2 strikes, the Sooners will employ the shift on the Red Raider first baseman. 3 infielders between first and second base. Witherspoon works him inside. That ball's hit right into that shift. Snyder at first base will flip to the pitcher. Witherspoon covering the bag. And the Red Raiders have 2 outs here in the 6th inning. Gavin Cash 1 for 3 today. Now Bazell, who is 1 for 2. Grounded into an inning-ending double play in the first inning today. Doubled in the 4th. One of only 2 Red Raiders in this game to reach second base.
Yeah, easy money for Kyson Witherspoon so far through 5 2/3 innings. He, like Braden Davis last night, has only allowed 2 hits.
Kevin Bazell gives that one a pretty good ride into right field. Back on it is Madron. He's looking up, and it's out of here. Kevin Bazell has just homered with 2 outs over the Red Raider bullpen in right field. Bazell's 6th home run of the season, and that gives Red Raider fans a reason to stand up and cheer. Bazell's 6th home run of the year cuts into that Oklahoma deficit. Still, though, it's 6-1 Sooners. Now Austin Green loops that ball over Willits at shortstop into left field for a base hit. Couple of 2-out base hits by the Red Raiders, and the inning continues. Austin Green's first hit of this series, and now Drew Woodcocks will bat. He has walked and struck out in 2 trips today. Boy, chops this one right back to the mound. Witherspoon's got it, underhands to first. The inning is over, but the Red Raiders have broken through on Kevin Bazel's 2-out solo home run here in the 6th inning. On
last time maybe it's happened since he's in 2007, right at the end of the Larry Hayes tenure. And there's a look at our new pitcher. It's Jacob Rogers, second-year man out of Friendswood. Jacob, 6'2", 200-pounder, making his 18th appearance. You see the season stats there in Big 12 play. He's making his 9th appearance. Want to know the record with a save and a 4.05 ERA in 13-plus innings.
Brendan Lysick had come on in relief of Kyle Robinson in the 5th inning. Kind of flirted with disaster, allowed a bunt single in the 5th and the 6th. He hit a couple of batters, but no runs scored against Lysick, and now Rogers will face McKenzie, Nicholas, and Willits. That's 5, 6, and 7 in that Sooner batting order.
Brendan Lysick threw 2 scoreless innings, allowed 1 hit. He did hit 2 men, struck out a couple. Fastball in at 93 on the stadium radar gun.
McKenzie has a 2-for-3 day going, singled in a run in the 1st. He hit the 3-run homer in the 5th, so 4 of those 6 runs are courtesy of Anthony McKenzie here, and he got caught looking. 93 from Rogers, and McKenzie strikes out for the 2nd time today, and there's 1 away here in this 7th inning.
I think McKenzie must have been looking for some spin there. Took a fastball right down central.
Interesting that just 1 time today, that was that 5th inning when Madron led off with a home run. It's the only time today the Sooners have had a leadoff batter on base. But they do have 9 hits and 6 runs and lead the Red Raiders by 5. Nicholas here is 0 for 3 today, after a Friday night in which he had 3 hits. That was his 6th game of the year with at least 3 hits. Red Raiders start today 22-5 here at home at Dan Law Field at Rip Griffin Park. A year ago, they were 30-7 at home. Those 30 wins were the most of any team at home in the Big 12. It's 3-2 to Nicholas now, who was lined out to left, popped up to third, and struck out. Swing and a miss. 92 from Rogers. Back-to-back strikeouts to start this 7th inning.
Fastball to the top of the strike zone. Nicholas chases it up and out of the zone. Willits' turn here with 2 outs here in the 7th.
Back in the 4th inning, he flied out to right in the 1st and reached on a bunt single in the 5th. 8 strikeouts today for Red Raider pitching. The Sooners average about 7 strikeouts a game. Here's a ground ball towards Cash. We'll flip to Rogers. The inning is over. Sooners go in order in the 7th. Stretch half of this inning coming up. The home team will bat, trailing Tarper and the Phillies. 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 Pacific on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN Radio. Our coverage begins at 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific with Baseball Tonight's Sunday Night Countdown. Landon Stripling to lead off for the Red Raiders. 6, 7, and 8 in that Red Raider batting order. Starting at Drew Woodcocks in the 5-hole today for the Red Raiders. 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 do not have a base hit today. Red Raiders have only 4 as a team, and 2 of them have come from Kevin Bazell. Very similar to last night, Gus.
Yeah, very much so. Really good work by Kyson Witherspoon after the really good work by Braden Davis here last night.
Davis was outstanding, and Witherspoon has not allowed much. A 2-out solo home run from Kevin Bazell in the 6th. Austin Green followed that with a bloop single into left, but then Woodcocks grounded out back to the mound to end the inning. There's a second called strike against Stripling. Stripling walked in the 2nd. He flied out to center in the 5th. Now looking at a 2-2 pitch coming up from Witherspoon.
Witherspoon's 90th pitch was in at 95 miles an hour on the stadium radar gun. There's a lot to like about that. There's a right-hander just beginning to toss, and the Sooner bullpen, actually, it's a double-barreled action, a right-hander and a left-hander playing catch.
The 3-2 pitch way up and in on Stripling. He's on ball 4. That is the 4th walk today allowed by Witherspoon. He has struck out 5. Amazingly today, though, Gus, this is the first time today. It's the bottom of the 7th inning. The Red Raiders have a leadoff batter on base. And Cade McGee will bat. Narrowly missing a home run in his last trip to the plate, 5th inning, wound up getting called out on strikes in that at-bat. He fouled out to the first baseman Snyder in the 2nd inning.
The last inning, the first inning of the afternoon, in which Tech got 2 base runners on in 1 inning, and one of those is a bit of a technicality because it was a solo home run. It counts for one of the 2, but the point there is not much traffic for the Red Raiders.
No, hard to score when you don't have people on base.
They got a 1-out double in the 4th inning.
That double by Kevin Bazell, who hit the solo home run in the 6th. He's 2 for 3 today.
Yeah, Tech just 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position, which tells you just how little traffic there has been.
Now after walking Stripling on a 3-2 pitch, Witherspoon has gone 3-0 against Cade McGee.
Carter Campbell is the left-hander. Dylan Crooks the right-hander. You see in that shot there.
Mudler
trying to buy them some time.
Yeah. Baseball version of the 4 corners. We're stalling. The 3-0 pitch. There's a called strike at 95. Still some juice in that arm.
Yeah, no doubt. That's a good sign.
The ball hit right at third. McKenzie kind of backhands it, got it over to second in time. But the relay to first will not get McGee. Stripling is forced at second base, but McGee reaches first.
Ball sharply hit. McGee gets it off the end a bit. or McKenzie. A heck of a play. Finish McGee, but that was a heck of a play there by McKenzie.
And now Gage Harrelson with one out and a runner at first. Harrelson today in 2 trips has struck out and walked. McGee, one of a few Red Raiders who has not attempted to steal a base this season. Drawing a lot of attention from Witherspoon.
Well, those could be calls from the dugout, maybe to buy a little more time for the bullpen to get ready. Hard to imagine there's much of a tactical reason for back-to-back pick throws with a guy that didn't attempt a stolen base this year with a 5-run lead. You'd think all the focus would be right there at the plate. And that cutter buzzes the tower of Gage Harrelson.
Pitching version of the stall.
Yeah.
2-1 pitch up and away from Harrelson for ball 2. Witherspoon has topped 100 pitches. Threw 101 against Kansas State, 110 against Texas, and took the loss against the Longhorns.
The 103rd pitch of the night in at 95, afternoon rather.
He walked Stripling on a 3-2 pitch. Cade McGee hit that ball to McKenzie on a 3-0 offering. And now Harrelson, the pitch away from giving the Red Raiders 2 base runners. Swing and a miss, though. Struck him out. Second time for Harrelson to strike out today. Only the 6th for Witherspoon. But he has been outstanding.
Gage under a fastball again. A very similar looking swing to the one that ended his strikeout in the 3rd inning.
Let me add to that total. That is DJ Pompey here at the plate, one of those strikeout victims. Grounded to second base in the 3rd inning, struck out against Witherspoon in the 5th. Up for the 3rd time today and trying to get out of a massive slump. One for his last 32. Top of the order, and Tracer Lopez would be next if Pompey can extend the inning. He takes that pitch for a called strike, now 2-2. Pompey doesn't chase, now a full count. 3 Red Raider batters in this inning have all seen 3-2 pitches. Stripling, who walked, Harrelson, who struck out, and now Pompey. Runner goes, pitches off the plate, ball 4. Red Raiders have 2 runners on here in the bottom of the 7th inning with 2 outs. McGee, who reached on the ground ball, fielder's choice, is at second. Pompey, who walked, is at first. And Tracer Lopez will bat, but he will not bat against Kyson Witherspoon. Sooners are going to make a pitching change here with 2 out in the bottom of the 7th inning. And Witherspoon near 110 pitches. It's 6-1 Sooners over the Red Raiders. Pitching change underway.
The Matador Club is the official NIL collective of Texas Tech Athletics. What does the Matador Club do? They create partnerships between...
How far can you see from Texas Tech?
Red Raiders' Tracer Lopez will see a new Sooner pitcher. It's Carter Campbell, Gus.
Carter Campbell, veteran left-hander, making his 20th appearance. You see the season totals there. In Big 12 play, he's making the team-leading 10th appearance. In conference games, got a 1-0 record and a 7.70 ERA and 16-plus innings of work. He last pitched on Tuesday against Oral Roberts, went an inning and 2/3 of scoreless baseball, allowed a couple of hits.
Sooners lost that game, extending a losing streak to 3, but they snapped that with Friday night's 8-0 win over the Red Raiders. Here's the troubling thing about Carter Campbell. If you are a Red Raider fan out of Keller High School, gosh, you kind of feel like if the Red Raiders are going to rally from a 6-run deficit. They've cut into that on the home run by Bazell back in the 6th inning, but Red Raiders need to add more runs right here. You've got 2 on. Tracer Lopez is 0 for 3 today. He did have a hit yesterday, 1 for 3 on Friday night. He singled in the bottom of the 2nd inning. But 0 for 3 today with a ground out, a fly out, and a strikeout. And Campbell missing on the first 2 pitches.
And they're playing him with a heavy pull side shift. You can see Willits down there at the very bottom of your screen working on the base runner at second base. Big hole. It's a traditional shortstop position.
Now 3-0 to Lopez. Cade McGee is the Red Raider runner at second. TJ Pompey is at first. And if ever there was a hitter's count, it's 3-0 to Lopez.
The right-hander Dylan Crooks continues to work in the OU bullpen.
Oh, that's way off the mark. Ball 4. A 4-pitch walk delivered by Carter Campbell, and the bases are loaded for Gavin Cash. Quickly, another mound visit from the Sooner dugout.
They're calling for the right-hander to come in to pitch to Cash and Bazell here.
Well, we'll tell you about the new Oklahoma pitcher when we return, but the Red Raiders have the bases loaded with 2 out in the 7th inning.
Tunnel vision, keep the algorithm in the kitchen, cooking up, then you're looking up like it's finished. I love, never get it twisted, cause I really want more. You ain't got your boots on, how you gonna start?
This is our full of Red Raiders. Sooners make their 2nd pitching change here in the bottom of the 7th inning, Gus, and they call for Dylan Crooks.
Dylan Crooks has been very good for this team. See the season totals there in Big 12 play. Crooks making his 6th appearance. Just a 1.12 ERA and 8 innings of work.
Well, he'll face Red Raider first baseman Gavin Cash with the bases loaded. Gavin 1 for 3 today. He singled in his first at-bat back in the 1st inning. Struck out in the 4th and grounded out in the 5th. But the Red Raiders have the bases loaded. McGee is over at 3rd. Pompey is at 2nd. And Tracer Lopez, who was walked on 4 pitches by Carter Campbell, is at first base. The shift is on for Gavin Cash. A big swing and a miss on the first pitch from Dylan Crooks.
Well, I thought that was foul tip there, but we didn't get a foul tip signal.
No, and Mudler jumped up looking for that ball.
Yeah, he sure did.
Gavin Cash has 38 career home runs. Gavin with the bases loaded, a pretty impressive .429 average. Well, fooled on that pitch and swings through it for strike two.
Yeah, really good change, maybe a split change.
Red Raiders still do not have a hit today with runners in scoring position. And they've got them at second and third, but Cash behind in the count at 1 and 2.
Nicholas out in shallow right field. They're very deep and playing him around to pull in the outfield. Willits almost at the traditional second base position. Of course, he's their shortstop. McKenzie about halfway between second and third. Huge lead for McGee over here.
Way off the plate there. Cash does not chase, now 2 and 2. Kevin Bazell is on deck if Cash can reach. Bazell has 2 hits today, a double and a home run. But Cash had 2 hits on Friday night, trying to get his second today. Hit it hard through the shift. It's all the way into right field. It'll score a pair of runs. Gavin Cash against the shift, hits it right through it on the right side. Cade McGee and T.J. Pompey score. Tracer Lopez races all the way around to third base.
Well, they had him positioned just about perfectly. Cash smoked that ball just out of the reach of the diving Willits. Gets it in between Nicholas and Willits and out into right center field.
And Kevin Bazell is the 7th Red Raider to bat in this inning. His last 2 at-bats, a double and a home run. He'll take that pitch inside. This was that solo shot in the 6th inning off the bat of Kevin Bazell. Hit it over the Red Raider bullpen in right field, his 6th of the year.
And bat prior to that, a double off the...
Are just foul.
Yeah, bat prior to that, a double to the 380 sign out in deep right center field. So he's driven a couple balls the other way here in his last 2 at-bats for good results.
"15 career home runs for Kevin Bazell. That's ball 2. Bazell did have 8 hits off Sooner pitching a year ago in the series in Norman. Game 2, he went 4 for 5 with a couple of doubles. Oh, and that's a called strike. Great job framing that up by Mudler behind the plate.
A little off-speed pitch. Catches the bottom of the zone here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The deuces are wild.
That ball hit right back to the mound. Crooks fields it. The inning is over, but the 2 RBI single by Gavin Cash brings some life to the Red Raiders. It's 6-3 Sooners as we...
Your spring going with the Home Depot and turn our advice into action. Our selection into something savory. And our inspiration into...
Helping you discover untapped possibilities. And relentlessly working with you to make them real.
Your bath. Thousands of lights.
Again, we'll do it again.
Couple of crooked numbers for the Sooners. 2 runs in the first, 4 in the 5th. Mudler gives that one a pretty good ride into left center field, but Harrelson will make the play. We're out number 1.
talked about that Gavin Cass single with 2 RBI hit. I said it was hit hard. And I was right. It was 108 miles an hour off his bat. That ball was smoked.
Had 2 infielders, Willits and Nicholas, with a chance to dive and make a play, and neither one of them could.
Yeah, when it's hit 108, you're not going to get much more than maybe a step and a dive. That's about what Willits did. He made a heck of an effort.
Two and 0 to Kendall Pettis, who singled in his first at-bat. He has flied out and grounded out in 2 trips after that. Jacob Rogers is the 3rd Red Raider pitcher today. Kyle Robinson started, Brendan Lysick after that, and now Rogers. Three and 1 to Pettis. Oh, that hit him. He is the 4th Sooner batter hit by a Red Raider pitch today. And with 1 out, he will head down towards first base.
That's a huge location miss there on a 3-1 pitch. Flipped Pettis on the shoulder. He's a threat to run. 9 stolen bases in 11 attempts.
Kyle Robinson hit Michael Snyder back in the 5th. Brendan Lysick hit Madron and Snyder again in the 6th. And now Pettis here in the 8th inning, and Spikerman, the top of that Sooner batting order, is at the plate.
Jack Washburn works in the Tech bullpen.
Spikerman had 3 hits in Friday night's 8-0 Sooner win. He has struck out twice today and flied out to left field and has a walk. So still looking for his first base hit today. No pitch, ball 4 from Rogers. He got Mulder to begin this inning by flying out to Gage Harrelson in left center field, but he has hit Pettis and now walks Spikerman.
And he hit Pettis with ball 4, essentially. So the command really starting to drift here. After buzzing through the first 4 hitters, Coach Tadlock is out. He has yet to signal to the bullpen. Talk to his right-hander here.
Rogers struck out the first 2 batters he faced, McKenzie and Nicholas, and then got Willits to ground out. But the wheels have started to come off here in the 8th inning after the Red Raiders had scored a couple of runs. There will be a pitching change. It's 6-3 Sooners, top half of the 8th inning here in Lubbock.
Before this fire, there must be smoke. Before I'm dead, I gotta go.
Disney Bundle. There's something for everyone. Like adventure.
Documentary.
And sports.
It's a luxury experience.
There's something for the whole family.
Ending off with that solo home run. The next 2 Sooner batters reach base, and then Anthony McKenzie hits a 3-run homer there off Red Raider starter Kyle Robinson, and would bring us to 6-3. But here in the 8th inning, the Sooners have 2 on with 1 out, and Gus, a pitching change by Tim Tadlock.
Yeah, it's the big left-hander Hudson Loose. 6'7" of him coming in to pitch to the left-hander Madron. Madron's been outstanding today. 2 for 3 with a double and a homer. You're seeing the season totals there for Luce in Big 12 play. He's making his 4th appearance in an ERA of 8.10 in 3 1/3 innings.
Madron's been on base each of his 4 trips to the plate today with a double, a fielder's choice, a home run, and he was hit by a pitch. Plate on his first pitch to the Sooner right fielder.
Washburn continues his work in the Tech pen. He's probably close.
Again, Luce wide of the mark.
Luce trying to land a breaking ball to Madron.
22 career home runs for the senior out of Blanchard, Oklahoma. And that ball is lifted into right field. It'll get down. Austin Green, couple of hops there. Pettis is around third. Throw is on the way. It might have been in time, but Bazell dropped the ball. Bazell trying to make the sweep tag on Pettis, sliding at the plate, dropped the ball.
A little short hop throw there that Bazell's trying to pick backhanded and apply the tag. Sooners being very aggressive here, and why not? Playing with a 3-run lead. You know, Kendall Pettis runs well.
Won that game 8-0. Tim Tadlock is out to make a pitching change. Hudson Luce faces one batter. The Red Raiders go back to their bullpen. We'll tell you about that new Red Raider pitcher in a moment. It's now 7-3 Sooners.
When's the last time I used that thing? When did it become a clothes rack? Did the clothes rack get more expensive?
Spend, save, and plan.
Can Billy come out to play? Yes!
The only.
Greenies makes dog food now?
You mean GREENIES? Greenie's Smart Essentials at PetSmart has science-backed nutrition with the taste they love.
Ready for your Greenies?
PetSmart. Anything for pets.
Yo, let me just say, I love Planet Fitness.
Trying out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour.
The new Red Raider pitcher, this is Jack Washburn. Gussie comes into a tough spot here. Runners on the corners for the Sooners. 1 out and 1 run in. They have gotten back one of those 2 runs the Red Raiders had just gotten in the 7th.
Red Raiders looking for a double play ball. Little infield. Pinched a step or so toward the middle. A good runner in Madron. He has stolen his 14th base here this afternoon. 15 attempts.
Carmichael is the batter. He has 2 singles today. Singled in the first, scored the game's first run, or second. He drove in the first run of the day for the Sooners. He would score the second run in that inning. Singled and scored in the 5th. He has flied out and grounded out in 2 other trips. Big swing and a miss there on that off-speed pitch from Washburn.
A good breaking ball by Washburn there. Get ahead in the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That one's popped up over near first base. It's in foul territory. Gavin Cash is drifting over that direction. He'll make the play. Now there are 2 outs. Washburn now his 11th appearance this season. We've seen him in the role, Gus, as a starter for the Red Raiders.
Yeah, he last pitched a week ago today through a scoreless inning in Lawrence.
Now with 2 outs, here's Michael Snyder. Singled in that first inning. Lined out to Harrelson in center field in the 3rd. In the 5th and the 6th, he was hit by pitches. He was hit by Kyle Robinson in the 5th. That put 2 runners on, and then McKenzie, who is on deck, hit a 3-run homer. That was the final batter for Kyle Robinson. as Oklahoma led at the time 6-0. It's now 7-3, and Washburn trying to keep the score at that mark. Runner goes. Bazell faking the throw down to second base, and they've got a runner hung up between home and third base, and he's safe at the plate is Spikerman. Spikerman cuts down the Red Raider catcher at the plate. McGee held on to that ball for a long time before throwing to Bazell, and then Spikerman slides upending the Red Raider catcher at home plate.
Yeah, the play works perfectly because you get Spikerman drifting down the line. A replay not showing that. Yeah, that extra.
Be the 8th run of the game for the Sooners, who won 8-0 here on Friday night. Madron, the runner at first, took off for second. Bazell faked the throw there and had Spikerman way off the bag at third. And went that direction to McGee. But McGee couldn't get the ball out of his glove very quickly and finally threw home, where Spikerman was ruled safe. Madron, while that was going on, went all the way from first around to third base. Bazell's knee kind of twisting awkwardly as Spikerman gets in there.
You can see Spikerman working to the inside part of the baseline there again, trying to force a fielder's throw and get in the way. But as he dove for the back edge of the plate, man, that looked like it was going to get ugly toward the knee of Bazell, but he hopped right up.
Defensive player cannot block a base or it would be obstruction.
Yeah, I don't think Coach Tadlock was out asking for a review of any sort of an obstruction.
No.
He is.
Well, you know, from that angle.
Yeah, what you don't see there is Spikerman really getting a hand to the.
Yeah, may have gotten a tag on the backside of Spikerman before he touched home plate. It would be the third out of the inning if the safe call at home plate by home plate umpire Jason Harstick is overturned. Catcher is not a position for the faint of heart.
Boy, you got that right.
All right, a decision has been made. The call is out at home. Indeed, that Bazell gets the tag on Spikerman. That final view that we saw, and it certainly appeared that was the case.
Skip Johnson's out for his explanation.
Well, the 2024 Phillips 66 Big 12 Baseball Championship is right around the corner. First pitch May 21st at Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas. If you're a Big 12 fan, you got to have it. Sign up to watch at ESPNplus.com/Big12 to catch all of the action. Gus, I know you've got a party scheduled at your house on on a couple of upcoming dates as well.
Well, there have been some Memorial Day. Of course, that's usually, noon, 11 in the morning, maybe noon announcement show. This year, there may be some drama in that for the Red Raiders if they don't find a way to get some wins here this weekend and next weekend in Stillwater. Maybe watching that to confirm some bad news. If they can put together some wins, then the interesting part of it is to find out where your team's going to go play. Of course, the Sooners are going to be in. The question is, will they be hosting? Everybody's got a little bit to play for at this time of year.
Yes, they do. Austin Green, Drew Woodcox, and Landon Stripling are the Red Raider batters due up here in the bottom of the 8th. Sooners wind up with 1 run in the top half of the inning as the call at home plate on Spikerman's slide and tag by Bazell is overturned to an out call. But the single by Madron did score Kendall Pettis to make it 7-3. Now Austin Green at the plate against Crooks, facing a shift on that right side. First baseman, second baseman, and shortstop all in there between the bag at first and second.
Malachi Witherspoon, the right-hander, working in the bullpen for the Sooners.
Now 3-1 to Austin Green. Green gets underneath that one, lifts it a mile high into left field. Madron is coming on. He'll make the play. Nicholas had drifted out that way, but called off by his right fielder, and Green is the first out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Here's Drew Woodcocks. Drew 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a walk on Friday. Has a strikeout, walk, and a ground out today.
Crook starts Woodcocks with a changeup.
Well, that ball hit hard into the gap in left field, but Pettis had it played very well. Had shaded Woodcocks that direction and easily runs it down for out number 2.
Woodcocks all over a fastball at the top of the strike zone. Drilled it, but right on. Pettis out in left field.
Here's Landon Stripling, Red Raider DH, has walked twice today and flied out to center field. He singled as a pinch hitter in the 9th inning on Friday night. If he is unable to reach base, the Red Raiders will have 7, 8, and 9 due up in the bottom of the 9th inning. Stripling has 22 starts coming into today for the Red Raiders. Today his 23rd. Today playing his 29th game as a Red Raider. Begins today with the 5-game hitting streak, which is the longest on this Red Raider team. He's been on base twice, but not by a base hit. It's another ball hard, but right at Pettis in left field. Sooners were already headed to the dugout waiting on that one to come down. Red Raiders have gone in order in the bottom of the 8th. We are on to the 9th. It's Oklahoma up here in Lubbock. Sooners out front 7-3. Gus, D1 Baseball's projection of the field of 64 includes 7 Big 12 teams.
Yeah, I like the sound of that. Both of these teams here in this ballpark are part of that projection, as we saw a couple innings ago. ACC with 9, SEC with 10. Fairly typical breakdown there. Red Raiders need to do some winning down the stretch here.
Red Raiders could have helped their cause with a win in one of those 2 one-run games at Arkansas not so long ago. Snyder, McKenzie, and Nicholas due up for Skip Johnson Sooners here in the top of the 9th inning. Against Red Raider reliever Jack Washburn. Washburn is the 5th Red Raider pitcher used today. Sooners got 2 in the first, 4 more in the 5th. Another run in the 8th inning. 7 runs on 10 hits today. The Red Raiders 3 runs on 5 hits. Out of play there, now 2-2 to Snyder, who singled in the first, and he was at the plate when Spikerman was tagged out at home by Bazell to end the 8th inning. Now 3-2 to the Oklahoma first baseman. His 8 home runs are second most on this team. Oh, a breaking ball there hitting. Washburn couldn't get the breaker over, and another Sooner hit by a pitch. It's the 3rd time today that Snyder has been hit by a pitch.
Washburn trying to land a breaking ball there. Just a big location miss. Clips Snyder on the arm.
And with all that they have done today, 10 hits, it's only the 2nd time they've had their leadoff batter on. The pop-up there by McKenzie, pulled in by Lopez. And now 1 out here on the top of the 9th. Five hit by pitch batters today for the Sooners, and Snyder hit 3 times. The on-base percentage will look good, Gus.
Oh, yes, it will. I was waiting on Cash. He got tangled up there with Snyder. Stumbling around over there. Big location miss on the breaking ball. Little back foot breaker. Nicholas able to get his foot out of the way. Snyder caught stealing earlier in this ball game for the first time all year. Big lead over there at first.
Nicholas is 0 for 4, but this one might get down in the right field corner, and it does. One hops the wall. It is up and over the wall after it bounces there. And that is a break for the Red Raiders, as Snyder, who was off and running, will have to stop at third base. And Nicholas has his first hit of the day, that double to right field.
Now this ball smoked. One hops the wall. Coach Tadlock out.
Washburn, who began the inning by hitting Snyder, got McKenzie to pop up, and now the double by Nicholas. Gus, we were talking about this a moment ago. Red Raiders pitching just off the mark today against Sooner batters.
Isaac. This mound visit here, probably defensive. You got runners on second, third, one out, and a really good bunter at the plate in Jackson Willits. Tadlock wanting to get together with his infield, make sure they are crystal clear on how they're going to play this. Looks like the infield's going to be in. Cash very shallow at first, as is McGee at third. I think they're part of what they're dealing with here is the bunt threat.
You know, Willits does have a bunt single today back in the 5th inning. Red Raiders are expecting that for sure, and they are showing their expectation. Willits swinging away. That'll back up Gavin Cash at first base a couple of steps. The Red Raiders aren't convinced that he will not bunt, and he swings again there and fouls the pitch back.
The infield's still in, but the corners have backed up about 3 steps just to the edge of the dirt.
Red Raiders looking at a 4-run deficit here in the 9th inning, or trying to prevent any additional runs by the Sooners. Big swing and a miss there, off speed from Washburn, and Willett strikes out. That's 2 away here in the top half of the 9th inning.
Good breaking ball to finish Willits. Swings over that delivery. Now it's Scott Mudler. Tech infield backs off. Outfield playing very deep, and they shade Mudler around the left.
Mudler had a pair of hits on Friday night. Both were doubles. He does not have a hit today. 0 for 3. Breaker from Washburn for a called strike. That pitch at 90 from Washburn.
That's right about where most of his fastballs have been today on that stadium radar gun, 90-91.
Another breaker from Washburn, called strike, now 1-2. Red Raiders will have 7, 8, and 9 in the bottom of the 9th inning. Will it be a 7-3 deficit or more? Mudler just hangs in there by fouling that pitch off. Mudler has a 3-game hit streak. Roller out to Lopez at short. Throw is in time to Gavin Cash. The inning is over. The hit streak does not continue, and the Red Raiders are down to their final at-bat. We're headed to the bottom of the 9th inning here in Lubbock. It's Red Raiders, over the course of the season, coming into this ball game, lead the Big 12 in a number of categories: batting average, runs, hits. Gus, these guys, a 3-day working for the Red Raider third baseman. But McGee with 24 of his 45 hits this season in Big 12 play. 11 of them are for extra bases. Red Raiders would like to see one of those right here, but a big swing and a miss on that off-speed pitch from Crooks. Now 1-2. That ball slapped out towards shortstop. Willits right there on the move. McGee got what he wanted, but Willits runs it down for the out.
McGee's all over this off-speed pitch there. Good solid contact. Just a step or two for Willits to his backhand for the nice lunging play. Red Raiders looking for some base runners here as they play down 4 runs.
Crooks has faced 6 Red Raider batters, retired 5 of them. He came into the ball game to face Gavin Cash, who delivered a 2-run single back in the 7th inning, but after that, Bazell, Green, Woodcock, Stripling, and now McGee all retired. That'll be out of play. Gage Harrelson today 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. He did walk in the 5th inning. But in the lineup today in center field with the absence of Damian Bravo. Does have a couple of home runs in his Red Raider career.
Crooks going back to that changeup and just missing the outside corner here. A fastball change for Crooks. A fastball right at 90 on the stadium radar gun. Doing a nice job of mixing pitches.
That ball hit hard down the first base line. Snyder fields it there. Going to have to go to Crooks. And Harrelson does not think that he was out at first base. Crooks covering there, as Snyder had to go down low to pick that ball up behind the bag and flip it back over to his pitcher covering first base. And I thought Harrelson had beaten him there. Oh, well, from that angle, it looks like Harrelson's already on the bag before.
Second view was the one that gave us the clearest look. Might be it here. Harrelson diving, trying to avoid a collision.
Hit to the Sooner first baseman way behind the bag. Did not field it cleanly, had no chance himself. But Crooks off the mound and over to the bag. The ball flipped to him. If Harrelson is out, the Red Raiders have T.J. Pompey at the plate. With 2 out and nobody on base here in the bottom of the 9th inning.
Witherspoon continues to play catch in the Sooner bullpen. This is actually a save situation for Dylan Crooks. He came on in the 7th inning with the tying run on deck. He ultimately faced the tying run.
Well, they're going to call him safe. So Harrelson beats out that play at first base.
Coach Johnson is out. He's calling for the right-hander. Will be Witherspoon in relief of, ultimately, his twin brother.
Or is it his twin brother? Is Kyson coming back? But it's a Witherspoon on the mound here with 1 out, bottom of the 9th. Red Raiders a runner on, trailing 7-3.
Who are committed to our great university. We began with our first graduating class in 1927, and nearly a century later, we continue to serve Texas.
Back here at Dan Law Field at Rip Griffin Park in Lubbock, pitching change for the Sooners. Gus, Skip Johnson trying to bookend this game with the Witherspoon brothers.
Yeah, it's been successful before. There's a good look at Malachi Witherspoon. Season totals there. Unscored upon in his last 2 outings, a scoreless inning against Wichita State, followed by a scoreless inning against Texas a week ago. Not a save situation here. He'll pitch to T.J. Pompey with the runner on first base and 1 out. Red Raiders need a couple more base runners to get the tying run to the plate.
Top of the order, and Tracer Lopez is on deck. Kyson Witherspoon started this ball game, worked into the 7th inning. Carter Campbell, Dylan Crooks. After that, now Malachi Witherspoon, sophomore out of Jacksonville. T.J. Pompey 0 for 2 with the ground out and strikeout today. He did walk and score in the Red Raiders' 7th inning on the 2-run single by Gavin Cash. Harrelson at first base after his infield single. Pompey, the first pitch he sees is lifted into center field, and Spikerman is there for it, and there are 2 away. Well, the Red Raiders now down to their final out in game 2 of this series. Lopez today on base 1 time. That on a 7th inning walk that loaded the bases, and then Gavin Cash followed with that 2-run single. He is on deck here. But the Red Raiders need to get to Kevin Bazell.
Excuse me, TCU leads Baylor 9-6 as they play in the bottom of the 11th. TCU trying to take the first 2 in that series. Cincinnati about to even up their series with West Virginia as they are beating the Mountaineers 9-2 in the 8th inning.
Oklahoma an out away from taking the first 2 of this series. Gage Harrelson not being held on at first. He's off towards second as Lopez fouls that pitch back.
Yeah, his run doesn't mean a whole lot, and that's why they're letting him have it. Typically, you do want to go ahead and get the base, not because him standing at second changes a whole lot other than makes it a little bit tougher for you to play a guy at second base for a force out for sure. Snyder paying him no attention.
There he goes again. Pitch is fouled off by Lopez one more time.
Gage is getting his wind sprints in. Got a little smile there. He keeps trying to get out of second. Keeps jogging back to first. Do it again. They're shading Lopez around the left field and the outfield.
That breaking ball up, and Harrelson does get down to second base. Lopez is the only Red Raider to start every Big 12 game so far this season. Lopez gets all of that pitch from Malachi Witherspoon. It's out of here. Tracer Lopez has just homered to right field here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th inning. Harrelson will score in front of him. Lopez rounding third. It's the 3rd career home run, or 9th rather, for Tracer Lopez. Well,
Lopez was in attack mode here on a fastball. Middle in and elevated. Boy, he ran it out of here over the Tech bullpen. Now 1 base runner away from getting
Witherspoon. Red Raiders now with 5 runs, trailing 7-5. Cash has 2 hits today. Off-speed pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2. Got him. Gavin Cash called out on strikes. Malachi Witherspoon allows the 2-run homer by Tracer Lopez, but he gets Gavin Cash for out number 3. Sooners win game 2.
Yeah, the Sooners in control of this ball game almost throughout. A lot of credit to Kyson Witherspoon. He was outstanding, unscored upon through 5 innings. 1 run in the 6th.